Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews. I am your host, Boise, and this is NXT UK review. We've got a double bill episode yet again. I actually love this. I love that we get back-to-back episodes of NXT UK. It just helps. It helps the brand, I think. I think it gives the audience a lot more content, and it gives them the ability to enjoy the show more because we get to see a lot more of it. But yeah, we've got a lot of matches, 2 main events, so let's get straight on with it. Let's hit the music. So on the first episode of this week, we got a singles match between Mastiff versus Damien Weir. This was okay. This was definitely Mastiff's squash match yet again. They really are going to build this guy up to be a terrible force in the NXT brand, but I can understand why. He's a big guy. There's not going to be a lot of competitors you can really go, oh, I think he could beat him or he could beat him. But right now they're doing the right thing. They're giving him like the lower end card of the talent pool right now. Be interesting to see how he copes with someone like, Mark Andrews or, Ashton Smith. These guys who are the upper mid card kind of level, pushing to the main event level kind of guys. Be interesting to see how he copes with them. But right now they're doing the right thing. They're making him feel more and more like a monster on the NXT UK brand, and can't really complain too much about that. Because it was a squash match yet again for him, I'm going to give Mastiff's match a 5 out of 10. Next up we had James Drake versus my boy, the local hero for me, Ligero. This was actually a really good match. It was Drake's first match on NXT UK. He's been on 205. He was on the UK tournament as well. He's also a tag team partner of Zack Gibson, so you can tell the crowd automatically just went against him. And Ligero, local lad, absolutely enjoyed watching him. He's the mixture of British strong style and lucha libre style, so definitely check out his stuff. He is really good in the ring, and it was a good type of match. You had the grappling of Drake, which really showed off his skills. He used his finisher on Ligero, gritted teeth, kicked him right in the face. It looked painful, by the way, guys. That really was a shocker there. But Ligero managed to get the win, which was awesome to see. He's 2-0 right now, so yes, undefeated for Yorkshire. Get in, lad. But yeah, it was a good debut match for James. It just shows how hard hitting he is, and it shows Ligero's high-flying skills off as well. So this is really upping what these guys are going to be able to do, because it was a debut match, and I think they had a lot more time to have some fun with this match. I'm going to give this match a 6 out of 10. So we had another debut match, and it was Eddie Dennis. Eddie Dennis has been doing those little promos. The teacher who left wrestling has now returned, taking on Scala, who I feel for Sid. I've got a feeling Sid's going to be the guy they're going to use for a long time as the jobber of NXT UK, and that's it's a job. At least he's on TV, and the crowd were really behind Sid on this one. Dennis has come across very arrogant throughout his promos, and finally making his debut on NXT, he came across like that. Actually, to be honest, he just seemed like a very frustrated head teacher. That's what his character is. It's a very frustrated head teacher character. The match itself was nothing too important to write home about. It was entertaining at best, especially when the crowd were absolutely bombarding the Dennis with Sid chants, and you could tell it was frustrating him quite a lot with that. The match itself is going to get a 5 out of 10. Again, debut matches, they're trying to build up characters. I feel sorry for Sid. I hope that he works his way out of just being the jobber of NXT UK, and he has opportunities to actually have real matches in the future. It's moved us on to our main event for this episode, and it was Danny Burch versus Pete Dunne for the NXT, the UK title. This was a really good match. It had plenty of time. Both men came across looking really strong. Pete Dunne controlled the match at the beginning. Now that was quite interesting. Usually you've got the challenger who's very much in control from the start, and then the champion moves the momentum towards him. This time around we saw Pete Dunne really control the momentum at the start. Pete Dunne lost it after a while, with Danny Burch really pushing him, and finally he got control, and then it was like a hard-hitting match at its core, and that's what you want to see with these two guys who started off British strong style, and the one who's elevated British strong style. So this was a good mashup between the two. Danny Birch for me is one of my favourite NXT superstars. Pete Dunne, again, one of my favourite wrestlers in the UK brand. So it's really good to see these guys go all out. The only thing I'm going to say is, I really hope NXT UK get a pay-per-view at some point, because with matches like that, especially the Pete Dunne and Birch match, where Danny Birch and they just absolutely, you went, that could have been a pay-per-view match. That's how good it was. Pete did get the win. He's still our NXT UK champion. Really good. Like, again, worth watching, worth checking out. I'm going to give this match a 7 out of 10, guys, but definitely check out. Very, very hard hitting. Now moving on to the second episode of this week, we got Toni Storm versus Dakota Kai, and spoiler alert, guys, this was the best match for this week. Both these women are going to get my honorary thumbs up match of the show. They definitely, I think everyone was expecting a good match. We just weren't expecting a fantastic match, because it's opening match. You don't expect it, and they did actually have it. The only little thing I'm going to natter about is, I wish they had another 10 minutes. That's 5 minutes just to add a little bit more. But both women just give it all. Dakota Kai's kicking style is absolutely fantastic. Toni Storm is just a legitimate badass, no matter what she comes across, and that's what you want to see between the two. Let's be honest, the two biggest baby faces on the women's division, who are looking to build momentum, to build up a women's division in NXT UK. We already know who's going to be the first NXT UK women's champion, but these two are definitely got to be the women who are challenging this woman in the future. But yeah, Dakota Kai really is impressing me every time I see her in the ring. Toni Storm has impressed me full stop every time she comes out. You just expect good matches from her. Dakota Kai and Toni Storm embraced after Toni got the victory. Then Dakota was walking up the ring, and she was attacked by Jenny, who was having promos about her arrival to NXT UK for the last couple of weeks. Toni Storm kind of watches on. Then Jenny walks away saying, "This is my NXT." Toni Storm helps Dakota Kai to the back. I'm going to give this match a 9 out of 10. Worth watching, guys. Really good match. Just wish we had another 5 minutes to really elevate the match a little bit more. Next up, we had Amir Jordan taking on Zack Gibson. Now this for me was an interesting match, to say the least, because it was pretty much a squash match from the start. Amir didn't really get a lot of offensive in there. They made Zack Gibson look like an absolute beast in this match, and he took Jordan. It took Jordan very little time to tap out after Gibson put his finisher on him. For me, this was interesting. It was more like a springboard to what was going to happen after the match. Zack Gibson cuts a heel promo saying he's Liverpool's number one, he's going to be the UK's number one, and then he's going to be the world's number one. Just, typical heel. The crowd obviously chanting against Zack Gibson, who comes out to confront Zack Gibson to tell him to shut up. None other than Trent Seven. Trent Seven has a huge following at NXT UK. Pretty much saying, "Oh, Zack, I didn't see you at the first ever NXT UK tournament. You weren't at the promos, you weren't on the posters, you weren't anywhere, were you? I know where you were. Did you buy a ticket? No. You just watched it off your mum's laptop." And I thought it was a really good promo. Trent challenged Zack to a match straight away. Zack walked away. No way. He's just had a match. Not interested. because of the promo afterwards, even though the match was a squash match, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10 because I think the promo was really good between both men. Worth a watch just for the promo alone between the two. If we're going to get Zack Gibson versus Trent Seven, that could be a really good rivalry. We could build up on that. I think those guys could have some great chemistry between them. Next up we had Zack Gibson again. No, we did not have Zack Gibson again. We had Kenny Williams versus Jordan Devlin. Now I thought this was going to be a brilliant match, but it was a good match. It was good, but it wasn't brilliant. I was hoping it would be brilliant because Kenny Williams is a great high flyer. Devlin is a great flyer as well. They're both really good wrestlers. But for me, this could just be me as a fan, but I found it to be no chemistry there. They could do all the great techniques in the ring, but it just didn't feel like either men were comfortable taking each other on, and that's a bit of a shame because I think their styles could really match up really well, but it just didn't come across like that. Kenny Williams, making his NXT UK debut last night versus, Jordan Devlin, I think, let's be honest, one of the guys who's definitely going to be elevated to one of the main events at some point in the NXT UK top division. So I thought this could really work out for both, but it was just lackluster. And Devlin did get the win. He was kind of like, oh, right, that's fine. But the match itself was very, very okay. That's it. So I'm going to give this match a 6 out of 10. I feel bad for giving it because both guys have the abilities to have great matches. I just felt it really dull. This moves us on to the main event, and that was a 6-man tag team match where we saw the Coffey brothers and Wolfgang team up to take on the team of Flash Morgan Webster, Mark Andrews, and Ashton Smith. Now, Ashton Smith last week was attacked, in the last episode, was attacked by Wolfgang and the Coffey brothers. This match built up really well. It was a really good slow building match. Fantastic atmosphere from the crowd, really behind the baby faces. The Coffey brothers have not won a match yet on NXT UK, and this really built up to having Wolfgang's finally turned heel. We've got a really dominant team here versus a pack of baby faces who people do enjoy watching, and that's what we got. It was a slow build, and the Coffey brothers and Wolfgang really used the ground more. They were hard hitting on to the baby faces, where baby faces were more aerial attack specialists, which that's fine. That's what they're good at, and the chemistry was there. I really enjoyed this. It looked like the baby faces were going to get the victory at one point, but obviously the Coffey brothers working well with Wolfgang, who is really, really good. He didn't get to use any of his high-flying moves, which is a shame because Wolfgang is really good in the air as well. For such a big guy, he's really good. But his ground and pound technique last night was fantastic. It was a close win, but the heels did get the victory. The Coffey brothers did get their first victory in NXT UK, and now they're going to show their dominance towards the rest of the roster. Now, and the commentators were like, "Who's next?" I'm hoping to see British Strong Style taking on this new alliance. I don't know what they're going to call themselves. I'm hoping they call them the Kings of Scotland. I think that would be like, because Wolfgang is the last king of Scotland. I hope they're something to do with kings, because they're talking about kingdoms a lot with this team. But yeah, I'm going to give this match a 7 out of 10. Worth a check out, guys. Really good match to watch. And there you go, guys. That was NXT UK review for you. Like I said, it was a double bill this week. We did get quite a lot of stuff going on this week, and I think they said next week we get a big announcement. I think that's the women's title which is getting announced next week. I hope it is. But yeah, it's great. It's good. Right now I'm really enjoying what NXT UK is doing. It's building up a great brand. The superstars involved are really great, and they're worth investing your time in with, guys. Really. Pete Dunne and Danny just had a brilliant match, brilliant. And Dakota Kai and Toni Storm just showing how good the women's division is going to be in this show. So altogether, with both shows, I'm going to mark them both as 1. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 this week for NXT UK. What was your favourite part of this week's NXT? Leave it in the comments below. If you do like our videos, please like, subscribe and press the bell to keep notified with all our videos. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do. It's at Smack Talk YouTube. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do. It's at Boise88. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Review.